Yeah, I was born in Gary, Indiana on August 9th, 1930. And I entered the Army as an enlisted man. I joined the Army right after high school and served 45 months of service, all of it in the Signal Corps. After high school, I worked one summer in the steel mills, and I just didn't like it there. And I heard there was a group of boys wanting to join the Army, and I did. And my brother was a radio operator in the Navy, and I thought that would be a pretty good job in the Army. So I applied for signal school, and I became a high-speed radio operator in Fort Gordon, Georgia, and then was sent to Fort Bragg, North Carolina, as a radio operator in the 4th Signal Battalion. The 4th Signal Battalion had almost every kind of device, electronic, that you could use in a combat situation. We are there, which I found out later, to support the infantry. I thought we were going for a desk job, but it didn't work out that way. The Inchon invasion was conducted by General MacArthur, who got nothing but great publicity as a result of that invasion. It's quite a military coup for him. And the day was bright and clear. I remember it just like it happened yesterday. A very sort of a hazy sometimes day, but the day was mainly a bright, sunny, happy day, and I couldn't understand why anybody would want to bomb this beautiful harbor and city in a war. That just didn't seem right. But anyhow, we made the invasion. I made it with Marines. In Japan, they had reassigned us from 4th Signal Battalion to the 1st Marine Division. And I didn't know how to be a Marine. I never trained for that. I never took any kind of training. And I found out quick enough, because when we debarked from the troop ship into a Peterboat to make the attack, I was on one of those cargo nets that lowers you down into the boat, and my head and helmet clanged against the hull of the ship, and I thought, this amphibious stuff is not for me. You got to be trained for this sort of thing. There were a bunch of 2nd Infantry, 38th Regiment Marines, soldiers were trapped in a mountain pass near Wanju, and they had to get out of there. They were asking for help, which we got on our radios. So our radio chief asked for anybody who was not doing anything right at that time. If you wanted to go, they would send you out. And they did. And I was there at that, and they helped that out. And we took a few shots and dished out a few. It lasted about 4 or 5 hours during the night, but we got the engineers out of there, and I felt pretty good. That was actually the first time I felt good about my role in Korea. I felt like I did something. The worst part of the whole thing was what happened when the Chinese invaded. They crossed the Yellow River. I really wanted to see the Yellow River. I was the great one for looking and exploring and wanting to know what's over the next hill. And I thought, well, this is pretty good. I'm going to see Manchuria, and I'm going to see that big river. But I never did. Radio traffic got so heavy because the Chinese had entered the war and were crossing in by the thousands across the Yellow River. When we came back from Korea, it was on a troop ship, like 7,000 guys, mostly Marines, and we pulled into San Francisco Harbor. There was a few young women, married women with kids, a few, even fewer parents, very few, no brass bands, no music, no receptions, nothing. Nothing. So you remember that. You always do. But the American people were tired of war. World War II had just ended 4.5 years before that, 5. And they were in no mood for more wars, and they didn't want to see welcoming committees, and they didn't want to see all that kind of stuff. But it was not very nice to be forgotten like that. Anytime you can avoid war, avoid it. It's stupid. It's stupid people who are always pushing for something that somebody does not want to give them. You're always pushing for that. Don't. That's the one thing that I would go for. And we got kids stationed all over the world. I said, bring them home.